how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again, and Newcastle now are undefeated in 8. That's 8 games in the Premier League. Unbelievable. It's just, what a turnaround, what an effect, what a change under this new ownership, what a change under the new manager, and Newcastle going from strength to strength. The results in general going first today, and that is now 7 points. 7 points that we are now away from Burnley, who are down there in that last relegation space, and that is still what it's all about as far as I'm concerned. I was happy to sing along with the old E-I-E-I-E-I-O songs today, singing about Europe and stuff like that, but look, let's make no bones about it. It's all about salvation this season, and, you know, basically saving ourselves from what looked like a certain relegation only a couple of, months ago. And Eddie Howe and his backroom staff must take huge credit. He's transformed the club top to bottom, with obviously help from the owners. And, the atmosphere, everything is just different. You go to the ground, and where before it was more out of sort of duty, more out of going through the routines or the going up and down through the gears, these days you go with expectation, excitement, anticipation, all these feelings. Just unbelievable. Absolutely delighted. The 240-mile round trip for yours truly at the moment is definitely worth it. I'm on, obviously, the trip back down home, hence why it's an audio-only one, as I travel back down the country after that one. But, no doubt, when I'm out in the van, out and about again, we'll do a view from the van and go through the game, dissect the game a little bit more. But, you know, look, it wasn't champagne football, it wasn't sexy football, it wasn't free-flowing football, but look, it's a team that's working through a system with a belief and a dogged determination to see it through, to see the job through, to progress, to be better, to learn week in and week out. And that is what we got today. Newcastle raced into a 2-goal lead, and you're sitting there pinching yourself because this sort of thing doesn't normally happen to us. Despite the gulf in possession, obviously Brighton had a lot more of the ball today. We did so much more with it. You go into a 2-goal lead, Fraser, and a beauty from Fabian Schär. And, apart from obviously the goal was a major disappointment. I was saying to Carl at half-time, look, we need to come out and have a real go for it for the first 10-15 minutes, try and get a third goal and just kill this game off, give Guimaraes some game time, some minutes in his legs, and then take it from there. But, you know, Brighton, you've got to give them credit. You've got to give them massive, massive credit. Look, at the moment, they're on a bit of bad form, but, you know, form is temporary, class is permanent. They've got some class players. They've got a class manager. They have done well for, you know, large parts of this season, and they're just going through a little bit of a rut at the moment. But, if you were there at the ground, the quality that they have in the players that they have and the system that they play, you could see, you know, Newcastle were going to have to really go at it. And, no doubt today it was Newcastle's team spirit, the Newcastle United, and in particular, underline United in bold, whatever you want to do, fancy stuff. It was that sense of being united that saw that game through. And Dan Burn in particular, I thought was absolutely fucking amazing during that game. Obviously a former Brighton player, and we were joking on, you know, we've taken Dan Ashworth, we've took Dan Burn, we've taken the 3 points, we'll leave you alone now, Brighton, for the for the rest of the season and stuff. And yeah, wish them all the best. A club that came up with us, if you remember, from the Championship. We fought them 2-0 for the Championship trophy that season, that obviously ultimately Newcastle United won. They were a bogey team of us, and bearing that in mind, and the fact that they are a bogey side against us, any sort of a victory against a bogey team has to be a fantastic achievement. And seeing the scenes in the dressing room after the game, all the players, even the subs who weren't involved today, hugging, jumping for joy, You had Kieran Trippier in there, still recovering from his injury, but still wanting to do his bit in leading the charge to survival. That's fantastic. And Newcastle now edging ever so close at 28 points. You would think 34 to 35 is probably somewhere near safety. If we can get a victory or a couple of draws out of the next couple of games, and I fancy us to get some stuff out of these games. I know it's a run of away fixtures in a short period of time, but with what he's building, with what Eddie Howe, the foundations and the system and the mentality and everybody rolling in the same direction, I think we're more than capable of going to these places and picking up points and continuing the charge towards safety. So I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. You cannot believe the change between the beginning of the season and the struggles under that fucking piss flap Steve Bruce and how we're playing now. I mean, a perfect example, John Joe Shelby's taking the corner, which in itself was absolutely something to be petrified about earlier in the season. But he takes the corner, it's delivered well, it's right on the money. The keeper comes and claims and catches the ball, the Brighton keeper that is. And the Brighton keeper's looking to distribute it really, really quickly. Now, John Joe Shelby's down in the corner in front of where me and Kyle are in the Gallagher. And to see John Joe Shelby sprint like Usain fucking Bolt back, you could see every drop of energy to go as fast as he could to get back into position, to protect, to keep the shape, to keep the banks, and to protect Martin Dubravka's goal. I just thought, that there in a nut is one of the major differences between then and now. The fitness, John Joe Shelby looks so much fitter. He's running, he's sprinting, he is desperate to get back, he's desperate to protect Martin Dubravka's goal. And he's sprinting an entire length of the pitch to get back into position, and he did get back into position, and that was epitomised all over the place. Ryan Fraser, fantastic, took his goal well, but again, every blade of fucking grass, and this was a player who he couldn't get anywhere near the team. He couldn't stay fit, he wasn't motivated, he wasn't being used, he wasn't in matchday squads. Under Bruce, under Howe, a manager he supposedly had a falling out with at Bournemouth, he looks absolutely rejuvenated. He looks desperate to prove himself. He looks hungry. Again, shape-wise, looks absolutely fantastic. The conditioning of all of them looks absolutely fantastic. And talking about fantastic brings me on to Joe Linton. Again, involved in a bit of a ruckus at the end. Shows he cares. Shows he's got passion, commitment, drive. Shows he's that Brazilian flair, the Brazilian temper and temperament, quality all over the place, again putting himself about. Gimenez did come on, he did get some decent minutes today, beautiful passes. It is only a matter of time before he gets in, and when he gets in, I just don't know that you're going to get him out, because he is such a quality footballer. I've seen him before when he's been playing in France. I was excited when we signed him. I understand the need for transition, for a watching brief, to get him to learn the game, to take it slowly, to not put too much pressure onto Bruno. But he was different, again, different class when he comes on. He's got that quality, the excitement. And it was the same when St. Maximum came on for Murphy, who I thought was quite ineffective today, to be honest. Him and Wood probably didn't have their best games, but still grafted hard for the cause. You can't knock that. But ASM coming on, and again, bags are full of energy, determination, flair. He tried to pass when he probably should have gone on and driven into the box. But he's a joy to behold. Him, Gimenez and Joe Linton, so excited to see how those gel in together. Continuing to get the best out of the likes of John Joe Shelby. Joe Willock wasn't his best game, but again, did some good stuff here and there. But probably you would expect a little bit more maybe of Joe Willock on the run that he's going on and stuff. Weak points, you could argue. I think Emil Kraft was getting targeted through the Brighton team. They were looking to try and exploit Emil Kraft at any opportunity. And I think Eddie Howe changed it up in the first half, and he was getting Willick to come over and help a little bit more. He was getting John Joe to come over and help a little bit more, to just help him cover and stuff. Because I think Emil Kraft's better going forward than he is in reverse. But we saw the game through. Target again with some very, very, very good work. And I hope and pray that we can again secure him to a longer term deal, because he's been absolutely fantastic since coming in. Dubravka thought was good, decent today. All the team played the part, and it comes back to that Newcastle United and that United part, and it is fantastic to see. It's special at the moment. There's so much positivity around the stadium at the moment. Even when the goal went in, the fans were trying to get behind the players. It was a bitterly fucking cold day at St James's Park today. Beautiful blue sky, sunshine, but it was freezing. The fans trying to keep warm, trying to keep loud, noisy behind the team, and see them over to a very, very, very precious 3 points indeed. Slight gripe of the match, not against anything in a Newcastle United shirt, nothing in the dugout, but the referees again, fuck me, Martin Atkinson, I think it was, this absolute fucking used wet wipe, given again everything against Newcastle. It was the same Galar who fucking refereed the Man City game, and I think he did the West Ham game actually, I think on the opening day of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, but the referees are fucking dog shit. Full-time professional. They were better when they were part-time. Honestly, Mr. Magoo would be better. Hey, God. You just find yourself scratching your head and looking in bemusement after stupid decision after stupid decision. It's like they've never seen the game of football before. And wherever he's from, he can just go and fuck off, and hopefully we'll never have him back again. And the thing is, before, when we had Mike Dean the previous week, you're thinking, things can only get better, but fuck me, it actually gets worse. Because at least Mike Dean went to look at the VAR and use that system and stuff, but I just thought the referee again was fucking atrocious today, and something needs to be said, something needs to be done about these referees. You just got to fart near a Brighton player, and all of a sudden that's it, it's a free kick. And, you just, like I say, you stood there scratching your head and thinking, oh, fuck off, ref. It's not about you, it's about the fucking team. And then portions of the game got scrappy, and it wasn't helped by the referee. It wasn't helped by the referee at all. This season, the referees, they've just seemed salty and agenda-driven. It may be not the case, but that is how it feels when you're in the stadium, when you're watching these decisions time after time after time again. Obviously, there's a little bit of a gap now between now and the next home game. We've got quite a few away games, but look, I think we go into them positive, and we've got Southampton, Everton, and Chelsea. Now, Chelsea aren't playing brilliantly, but they're still doing really, really well. There's a lot of state of flux at the club at the moment. I think you've got to go down there, and it's a bonus game, isn't it, really? So just go for it and see what occurs, see what happens on the day. And because, like I say, with Eddie Howe in charge, you just never know. Might be able to just pull something tactically, switch something. We've got quality in the side, so why not? Why not go down to Stamford Bridge and try and get something out of it? We've then got a trip, which is, you could say, difficult on paper. I think they've lost today. Southampton, very, very tetchy when the original game was called off. But we go down there, a long trip on a Thursday, and we can get something. We can definitely get something against Southampton. They are a fantastic team, fantastic players, but so are we. So it could be a very, very, very close game. But I back Newcastle against most teams at the moment. The way that we played, and the attitude, and the determination, and the team spirit, and of course Everton's got a shit keeper, so there's always a chance against Everton, isn't there? When it comes to playing against them, and Newcastle fans getting in the head, rent-free of a certain John and Pickford. And so again, you could back Newcastle to be able to try and get something out of that at Woodison Park coming up. So a couple of, tricky away games, compact, together. But the Palace game, that's been postponed, so it gives us time to get a little bit of rest and recuperation. We'll use the squad, no doubt, over the next couple of games. It'll be interesting to see what game that Bruno Guimaraes gets to start, and then once he does start, does he keep the shirt? That's going to be the big thing, I think, to look at over the next couple of games. But I'm absolutely fucking delighted because, look, make no bones about it, we look dead and buried come Christmas time. And you were really, I think, if you were hand on heart, you were worried about having to go to the Championship and rebuild from the Championship and get back up into the Premier League and so on and so forth. But look, we're probably a couple of victories away now from getting safety. Burnley lost, Norwich lost as well, didn't they, against Brentford. We've still got games in hand on the teams directly in and around us. Leeds lost as well today. So look, a lot of the results down there have gone for us. Things are looking good. The most important thing is 7 points away from Burnley. That's if you'd have said that, if you said, look, in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be 7 points clear, you'll be 14th in the league. If you'd have said that around Christmas time, people would have think that you were sniffing, well, fucking glue sniffing or something. Because it would have just been so far out there. People would have said, "Oh, don't be daft. We'll be happy just to be, within touching distance." But now it's a reality. It's a reality, and it just blows your mind. The signings that the club have made, and I mean, Staveley touched up on this in the recent business thing that she's been doing. They turned down many people because they weren't of the right calibre. They weren't of the right mentality. And then you look at the players that we have brought in, your Trippiers, your Dan Burns, etc, etc, etc. They're just the right type of players to be able to push us on and to push us up the table and to play better football and to keep more possession and to get points, to score goals, to see things through, all those sort of things. So where it might not be the names that some of the other so-called experts, like that fucking ginormous piss flap, Gabby fucking Agbonlahor. It's not the fucking names that he was circling. Well, why don't they go for this or that or the other? Or fucking Richard Keys was banging on about, etc. It wasn't those. It wasn't a Paul Merson type job. But they've brought in good footballers with the right mentality, the right desire. People who want to be at Newcastle and want Newcastle to do well, and it's so refreshing, and it's also as well so exciting. I'm driving, we're getting drawn back down now, and you're thinking about the summer and the possibilities and how the club is going to continue to improve and develop, and the changes at St James's Park, the changes that have been made at the training ground, which obviously has probably got a shelf life of another couple of years left on it, but there's changes, there's positive change all over the football club. I mean, you're bouncing around the stadium, you're jumping up and down, just amazing, absolutely amazing. Like I say, I'm in my early 40s now, and when I was at school, I'm sitting there thinking, it won't be too long until, back in the 90s, it was back at the Keegan days, and I'm like, we're not far away, we will win something, we will, and I've always had that positivity. And as the years go on, and Ashley comes in, and it's awful, and it's disastrous, and it's just monotonous, and it's just, you sort of like think, am I ever going to see Newcastle with anything? And I've mentioned this to my missus before. I'd say, look, I just want to see us win a thing, something, anything. But now it's just like, it's not even a possibility in my mind. There's a definite, and you've got to think like this now. This is how a football club should every other one does. We can. It should be possible to see Newcastle United win stuff, be successful, do well, do the right thing, because we've got people in charge now with this consortium who care, players who care, managers who care, managers and coaching staff who are tactically aware. who look to improve players, improve set pieces, improve corners, improve our general play, improve possession. It's just, to some other football clubs, you talk to, and you say, well, what are you happy about? And you say about corners and the likes, they think you were daft. They're like, well, yeah, that's just something that you take for granted. But it's not been the case at Newcastle for so long. So seeing a corner hit the 6-yard box and cause a scramble, seeing a training ground routine obviously transferred from the training pitch to St James's Park or an away venue, it's fantastic to see. To see Newcastle undefeated in 8 games is fantastic, and it's a really big achievement because it isn't often done that teams go on this sort of run. You know, you're talking about the form table and Newcastle shooting up there and looking good and looking comfortable. It is fantastic to see. Long may it continue. I look all around the stadium, I soak it up after the game, and I'm seeing smiling faces, I'm seeing men jumping up and down, I'm seeing families in there, I'm seeing positivity, I'm hearing noise, a wall of noise, I'm seeing the players over the moon, the managers over the moon, even the staff, serving the drinks and stuff like that, everybody is over the moon, the stewards are over the moon. Long may this continue. It's a complete and utter rebirth, and to me, all credit has to go to Eddie Howe, because even Staveley was on about, look, yeah, he's the head coach, manager, whatever you want to call him. He's been doubling up. I mean, he's been working with Steve Nixon over January. He's still working now, so he's doing a manager's job and a director of football's job. He's making calls on players to bring in. Already trying to work things through for the summer. It's just unbelievable. The man's an absolute workaholic. He's dedicated to the cause, and all the calls from the Bournemouth supporters when we got him, saying, you'll love him, you'll absolutely love him. 100% right, and I wish them nothing but the best, because they were really complimentary and nice towards us and Eddie Howe, so it's only nice to return the favour. And no doubt today, as well as Newcastle and Brighton officials met at St James's Park to watch the game, no doubt the Dan Ashworth compensation situation was probably discussed. He is coming to Newcastle. He's going to be our director of football or sporting director, whatever you want to call him. But he is coming to Newcastle. That is his next project. He will be planning now, no doubt about it. But the talk about compensation and a package, no doubt will most likely get discussed today. Clearly, Brighton, a competitor of ours, doesn't want to make it easy for Newcastle. Want to make sure they get much money out of it as they can do. They don't want him doing preparation and doing things for Newcastle in preparation of next season. But at some point, a common ground will be met. And I've no doubt about it that will be getting discussed now as I'm recording this, and it will have been discussed during the course of the afternoon with Brighton arriving at St James's Park. But yeah, I wish them obviously all the best for the rest of the season. But I am delighted that Newcastle United have somehow managed to get another victory through and increase that gap to 7 points. It just feels so good at the moment, being a Newcastle United fan and feeling so positive and so charged up and excited about the future. Brilliant. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Dan Burn got to be man of the match today, but it finished at Newcastle United. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1, and now we're just one place behind Brighton in the table. Fucking heads gone. Heads bloody gone. Anyway, I hope you are all okay. We'll do a view from the van over the next day or two, so look out for that on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. It does mean a lot. We don't do all these fancy bells and whistles and stuff, but what we do try and do is get you decent, honest content, exactly what we think. So if you're liking the videos and everything else, hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment. It does mean a lot. We're trying to get the YouTube channel up to 1,000 as quickly as we can. We're on 11,000 on Facebook. Twitter is doing absolutely just great things. It just seems to go by a few thousand all the time, 12,000 or so at the moment. So just absolutely fantastic. Instagram just went over 6,000, and we've also started as well on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, search for Magpie 24/7. We're on there. Appreciate any follows, any likes, all the subscribes. It means a lot, to us. We do put a lot into Magpie 24/7. We do try and keep the news, the views, the opinions, the videos, the funny stuff, everything coming as much as possible. Obviously, we're working full time, stuff like that. Not always easy. Had the bloody week from hell, but I'll tell you what, when it gets to the weekend and Newcastle do the business, it makes all the fucking difference. I'm over the fucking moon, I really, really am. Like I said, 240-mile round trip these days for home games since my move and stuff. But it certainly puts an extra stride, and you certainly seem to get back a little bit quicker when you've had a nice victory like today. But a different side of Newcastle, a show of determination. But like I say, credit goes to every single player and the manager and the coaching team. They're all doing a fantastic job. Long may that continue. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all of the good stuff. Take care, keep it tuned. I'll see you on the view from the van really shortly. Keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.